Adam, I don't know if I can take this much more excitement. I'm running out of breath. I'm running out of energy here, but I am ready for it, particularly seeing Nevs and iDrop. Last week, they were performing pretty steady, pretty consistently overall, finding some good eliminations, but I think it's the mindset of a lot of our superstars in the region. If you're not first, you're last in their head, so they may not take it in stride as, you know, some of us would.
Look, the mindset for this game, Jacob, is aggression. 44 players up. Third zone just turned into fourth zone here, and you can see Nev's iDrop. They are going straight for that aggression, continuing their momentum with their 5 elims. They want to make it 7.
Now, this is a good opportunity to do just that, especially with iDrop already in the box. Nevs is trying to alleviate the pressure, runs into Alex. Shot's going to get fired, but it's not a ton of damage. iDrop's able to get one, but it comes at a trade, 1-for-1. Nevs by himself. He has a huge advantage in terms of the health, and he uses it wisely, but he cannot go ahead and figure anything out from there. He's already aggressed on by the third party, and they take him down with ease. Those are the opportunistic moments that we look for.
39 players up now, 21 duos, and we are just getting started. This is going to be interesting, Jacob, as the players continue with their momentum now. Howley, Nefrizi in the storm. Looking like they do have the grapple blades, though, so they're going to make it right back into the zone here. And even making use of some of the slap barrels here. Get that stamina, get that HP, and continue going.
They're also going to get the gold. If the vending machine has anything left inside, they can get themselves some big pots, some med kits, or just heal up. The choice is definitely theirs. Just outside of fencing fields, we got another fight going down. Gooden and Vacant just enter the box, take down their opponent. And you see the duo just in the distance. Thank God, just trying to get out. He's just trying to stay alive. You see a whole nother team third party in that direction. Vacant takes the brunt of that damage before it even starts.
Take a look how Gunbury here was able to secure that quick elim. Nice little shots connecting. As now fizzing up his teammate here. Both recuperating that shield that they'd lost. And now getting ready in the fencing fields to continue forwards. You can see the players close by using those grapple blades, and they're hungry. You can tell.
Yeah. They know that he's separated, possibly think that he's weak as well. Shots coming in, but that's not really going to scare him off just yet. Still going for that piece control. Jakey's playing very, very defensive and gets out of the box, but just too many angles are being hit at right now. Finally, they reunite in the same box. A missed opportunity and a missed shot, but he's still going to come up with the down anyway on Gudenbreath. Jake's there. He's going to get knocked, though. Mystic's going to be the last one left, and the more this one goes on, the third parties become more and more of a potential threat. As Vacant just doesn't want to let that early damage go out the window. One well-placed shot from either one of these players will end this fight, and they'll be able to come out on top.
That's all it takes, that one big shot. Vacant hitting the ramp, though. Ricochet, it's not on the player. Continuing in, though, has the ball, has the edit. But his opponent continuing to run, continuing to disengage. But for how long can you disengage when you have someone like Vacant chasing you down? Lower HP, but it's not a problem until Mystic hits that huge shot, ending it for Vacant. 5 elims now, as another duo wants to join the party.
The fights do not stop here, at least not just yet. From one fight to the next, this one deep in toward the zone. Medkits are going to play a huge role. Medkits being revives being attempted on the other side. Toos goes for the heal instead. The shot almost goes through from Romix. Toos firing back. Medkit's still there for both of these players. The HP is low. Romix cannot go for the revive, so he might actually go down altogether, and this might end up in a simple 1v1. And if you look at the mini-map, somebody's like, hey, there's a party going on. Why didn't I get the invite? And they're making their way over as well.
Making their own invite, coming in uninvited. As Toos now continuing to take those shots, has another med kit, so does not have to worry too much about the timing here. Picking up what's left over from the loot, and there it is, 104. It's not enough, though. Just a few more seconds in zone, and his opponent will go down. There it is. But just like you said, Jacob, the uninvited player has arrived at the party. Continuing now, the second 1 versus 1. Big gets popped, one more medkit left, and they're going to stay in zone.
Yeah, the Nemo just say, you know what, you're right. Let me just continue going forward. If he has his reboot card, him staying alive as long as he has, and this being relatively early on in the game where not too much damage is being taken, at least not to this next zone, he has a chance to try to get his teammate back up. And that's the one thing that you got to at least give yourself credit for as an opportunity, as you see a team just rotating in the outskirts. And since they're this far out, unless you're really focused and looking in that direction, it's going to be hard to see them.
Yeah, swimming in the water. I mean, edge of the zone here. This could be a duo that's just trying to scavenge up as much placements as possible from this aggressive lobby here. It's kind of relaxing in a sense. I mean,
go a little swim.
Swimming around, but looking now back, and some of the players are a little less relaxed outside of the zone. With the aggression coming through, the 2 versus 2. Both players getting cracked, but one of them coming out on top there. It's Raidkin and his duo partner who are forced to pop up those medkits, but now 9 elims. This is massive.
Yeah, a huge point game. And they have to continue to play this one out. Lobbies are going to begin to close, so you have to make every bit of this game count. You know, whether if it's elimination or simply playing placement, this could be one of the last opportunities you have to get those points, solidify your position on the leaderboard, and hopefully gather enough series points to keep your FNCS journey alive.
Hallie Nefrizi taking a lot more of a relaxed approach to this match. 2 elims on the board, almost full materials. As Nemo is there hiding behind them as a solo. Who will find him first? As Scroll and Mute. Edge of the zone. Also hunting.
Yeah, just on the outside of Hazy Hillside. They don't necessarily have to rotate too far, especially when you kind of count all the teams in front of you. It'll be less and less congested for each one that passes. So they don't want to give up their position just yet. They're not just on the crevices zone. They're a little bit deeper inside than that. Not everybody having that same comfortability, though. Curvino and Tus. Bananas, coconuts, apples, spinach, anything to get your HP back up and save that med kit.
Get those vitamins. Tropical smoothie. As the med kit is the final touch here. You can see there's not too many duos close by. A lot of them already in the storm, but it's also mixed up with there being so much aggression that there just isn't as many duos in general on the map. 16 of them to be exact. And it looks like some of the duos here are just trying to secure placements. Howley, Nefrizi, though, might want a bit more than placement, as they have been playing a little bit more aggressive here.
See them just biding their time. A lot of these teams that are already in zone, they don't necessarily have to make a move, or at least don't have to forcefully make a move that they don't necessarily want to be in. And you can see him looking up, spotting out a couple players around, information that he's sharing on over to Nefrizi. He has to know Tus and his duo over on the outskirts as well, so he knows at least 3 players are stacked right on top of him. And if he looks in the distance, he saw another one rotating by. So it's all about formulating that strategy on your rotation, knowing exactly where everyone's positioned at.
Zara, though, and his duo partner, legendary and mythic loadout, looking incredibly healthy, have been staying on the upper half of the leaderboard despite not having qualified in week 1. Looking to see if they can recuperate all of that in just the second qualifier, and so far they've been doing a great job of it. 9 shots left for the Reaper sniper rifle. Already connected one of them, but he wants to connect that headshot to make it that much more meaningful.
Yeah, Zara, Radion, in terms of their points, if
Oh no.
No, that's not what you want to have happen.
It's the wrong way, Zara.
And then you gotta just keep going. That's not what we want to have happen, especially considering the position that they're at on the leaderboards. They're within range of securing their spot for the losers semifinals, but it's all about getting that upper bracket. You have more chances in general to reach the grand finals through playing through the upper bracket instead of the lower side of things. So they still need to pick up some points in their last opportunities here on the day. I got to imagine elimination crazy is going to be the goal if they want to pick up those points. But it just all depends if they even know their position on that series point leaderboard as well.
Narcisa Kiev just cleaning up an engagement here. 6 on the board. 8th zone has appeared. It's up north. Quite a few duos will have to make that rotate. As now, another attempt by a different duo here. Crash Bad. Possibly no Flowberry being used here on this rotate. But you gotta be careful. With the duos looking back at you, knowing that there's a Crash Pad there, just waiting for the moment to strike. And they've realized that, deciding towards the grapple blade rotate instead. And it looks like it's worked out.
Yeah. Good job thinking outside of the box. When one thing doesn't work, they continue to try. They grapple their way towards the zone regardless. 8th moving. Depending on where you're at in resources, now would be the good chance to try to at least threaten height. Let other teams know that you're on notice if that one's going to come through. I mean, K-Bism just shooting down below. 42 points, 10 eliminations so far. This is the last chance for some of these teams to get as many points as possible, move up that leaderboard. And for some, you'd think 10 is enough, but for others, it might not be the case.
Really depends on what situation you're in on the leaderboard, being 250 duos competing today in this round 4 of the second qualifier. The Sky Mew now continuing with those shots. One player gets knocked, but there's so many duos close by, you do not want to get close to that. It's a caution zone that you want to stay away from. As they continue looking around, found the solo, but it's another duo that's going to take the loot. Can they scavenge anything is the question.
Yeah, that was Howley who just snatched that one away at an opportunistic time. Zara and Radeon just trying to get into the box. They're trying to move up those series point leaderboard by finding Nemo and taking him out. And they continue to move forward. They have so much space right now due to those early game due to those eliminations in general and the mats that they were able to pick up. They built themselves a nice bridge across, and you can see High Ground already cementing their position as well.
Howley now, Nefrizi. You see them looking around, looking for opportunities. This could be one. He does not know that his opponent has no shield, but he does know that he's in an engagement and could open up that option for a drop down. Tries to get it, unable to box up his opponent, but the second attempt lands. That's a knock for Howley. Gets the full finish. 2 now on the board. 4 total for the duo. Toos, on the other hand, continuing in the storm. Gets another one. 10 duos up now, just 19 players.
And he finds resources, even gets the medallion, but it's the HP that he needs most. Going to the front side, trying to lead the path for him and his teammate. They get a moment of fresh air as they reunite, but Mew and Skrull still on the hunt. They're trying to find another team they can catch off guard as they move forward in towards the zone. They know one's above, one's below, and they just simply trying to cut these players off. That's going to give them the flexibility to look back and then find the eliminations that they're looking for.
Tarped ahead of zone. Mats have been used, but they've made it. Ray Quinn up top in the clouds now, shooting down. Trying to land what they can. Double-digit Elins for the duo. Gets chopped, though. It's Howley. It's Nefrizi. They don't want to overtake it. They've gotten the chop down, but they're just going to continue looking up. They need to create another opportunity. Zara, though, looks like it's fighting it. Have they found the right moment to strike?
Yeah, they're at least keeping them on notice. Nice job right there from Radeon to try to save it all yet again, but it comes coming down, and they actually find the eliminations on the way down as well. Howley's going to get credit for both of those, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, High Ground changes hands, but they get 2 separated. Toos is down low. His teammate gets dropped. They get sent back to the lobby. Mew and Skrull, they're just trying to stay ahead of all this chaos that is behind them, so that way they can pop any heals that they need, but pressure from above, pressure from below. They're forced to displace out of their position and find a new home.
Ingredients in the center of a sandwich. They cannot get dropped here with the zone going up. They have to maintain their layer. They can't take shots down below, though. So many duos applying pressure, but all they need is to stay up here. 4 builds, 1 build. No more materials from you here. Can he make something happen?
Yeah, players are falling left and right to our final 6 teams. To the backside of zone, Mew goes. He's just trying to get the material. He doesn't pick up much. It wasn't a sacrifice that was worth. His teammate gets dropped. Now the flopper is going to be popped. He's trying to go ahead and stay as long as he can as he goes down. And there was a massive amount of heals towards the backside of zone. I could only hope Nefrizi and Howley were able to spot those out, because that is a big win condition as this one closes out.
Lavero Nika looks like they're controlling the dirt down below, the low ground. But meanwhile, the high ground duo's healthy. Another player gets dropped. It's now a 2 versus 2. High versus low. Is it going to be an all-out engagement? Is it going to be a hail-off? It looks like it's the aggressive option here as the fight comes through. Just 1 quick shot is needed. for one of the players down on low, gets chopped, and here it is. 2 shots connecting, one by Howley, one by Nefrizi, and they pick up that quick VR.
If you looked up patience in the dictionary, Howley and Nefrizi will be right there smiling because they waited for that moment to overtake the high ground. They staggered themselves back. They did a little mix of everything, including finding those eliminations outside of zone to get the material to eventually take over that height. Well played for them. And you can see the confidence building right before our very eyes as they get more and more aggressive to close this game out.
You can see they were so close to the double digits, and with those last 2 elims, they secured them. Double-digit elim victory royale. What a way to bump themselves up the leaderboard, but we are going to bump ourselves over to Adam, Levin, and Mini to break that all down.